gameplay first. Core fundamental gameplay has to be good. The game has to be fun at its core before you start adding anything else.
How the does he get all the way back there, man? This game is AIDS!
19 is a very balanced year, right? So we're giving love to every part of the game, and I'm moving forward, it's going to be more like that.
That's big.
I think it comes down to core gameplay. You know, fundamentally making sure that our game is solid and feels good.
Where? You threw that? What? What? What the fuck?
But you have to make sure at the end of the day we're making a game and we're making something that people want to enjoy and it's an entertainment experience, right?
Oh my God! Let's go, man! Get up! Keep going! Run! Run! What are you? Move! Run it for 6, man! What the fuck?
I think a good mix of people who love football and understand football and people who love games and understand games will give us the highest quality, best game that we could possibly deliver.
Yo, it happens every time, yo. It happens every time. They're dragging him back for another safety, yo. They're dragging him back for another safety! It happens every time, yo. It happens every time. It's a glitch, yo.
What's going on, guys? It's been a while since we last talked. And surprise, surprise, Madden 19 sucked shit harder than any of us could have predicted. But that's par for the course at this point. And we've already covered that in depth together. But recently, EA has released some new news, a trailer about Madden 20. And while I'm always optimistic that my favorite sport game will finally come back, like Madden 06 and Madden 08, I'm not holding my breath. So, what are we doing? We're not going to waste another 10 minutes talking about why EA Madden sucks. You guys already know that. But rather, let's make an optimistic video about 10 things that EA could do but won't do to revive the Madden franchise. So, we got to ask ourselves, what is the ultimate goal here? It's to make the best football game possible. A game that won't last for the 2019 season, but it'll last for years on and be remembered fondly. So without further ado, let's get it started. Number 10, embrace NFL history, add in legendary NFL teams and stadiums. Last seen in Madden 08 for the 6th console generation, I think historic teams would be an easy and really fun addition to add into the game. Being able to see the greatest show on turf Rams go head-to-head against the Steel Curtain in Three River Stadium would settle a lot of what-if scenarios amongst fans. Being able to play in stadiums of yesteryear I think would do wonders for the game's longevity, especially for teams with boring or bland stadiums. I'm not gonna lie, I love Gillette Stadium, but the prospect of playing at the old shitty Patriot Stadium makes me excited. Get rid of that Levi Jean Stadium and let's bring back Candlestick Park. All I'm saying is if you allow us to play with old teams, old stadiums, and dare I say, give us the ability to swap the stadiums and rosters online, or even let us replace all current teams with historic teams, that would be a real game changer that would add seasons and seasons onto playtime. Number 9, turn of minigames and minicamp. Remember those old minicamp drills, dodging tennis ball cannons, throwing dimes? These were awesome games to include in the offseason to give players a little tribute boost, and these minigames actually gave you a reason not to just sim past preseason. In my mind, preseason now is totally useless, but if you add these back in, you can remedy that. And while you probably couldn't include these mini-games and training camp mini-games into online play, why not include some of the old NCAA favorites like bowling or horse? Easily added in and it wouldn't take so much effort. Come on, EA. Number 8, redo the user interface, menus, scoreboards, and play calling. Whatever happened to me being able to easily navigate through menus, get to franchise mode, and other game modes? Remember the days where you could just look at the menu and instantly know where to go without having to back out, search, jump back in? Yeah, me neither. It seemed like a long time. The menus recently in Madden have gone for the sleek, futuristic feel, and I fucking hate it. Why not let us pick our favorite team in the beginning and then have highlights in the background of past seasons? You know, think of the user interface. You gotta think of it the same way you think of a public bathroom cleaner. You know they're doing their job if you never notice or think about them. And this is a minor pet peeve of mine, but change the fucking scoreboard. We've had the same one, pretty much, for the past 6-7 years. I mean, how difficult is it to change the scoreboard? And I know, it doesn't make a difference as far as the gameplay goes, but it's really easy, guys. Just change the scoreboard. How about we have different ones for Sunday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, Monday Night Football? Just add in a little bit more effort, and you could change a whole lot of the same as last year moniker if you added in these subtle details. Number 7, bring back revamped Superstar mode. Give EA credit where credit is due. They tried something different with the long shot mode, but sometimes new ideas aren't so good. While the idea of playing as someone who has to work their way through practice squads and preseason rosters to finally step out on opening day as the starter, that sounds pretty amazing. Everybody in the world, though, would rather be playing as themselves than the most generic human being in the world. Look at NBA 2K. In my eyes, the best My Player mode, and it's the biggest hook that keeps people coming back year after year. Being able to scan my face onto My Player and play as myself through a 15-year career, demanding trades, flubbing at press conferences, and earning endorsement deals, that's great. How about MLB The Show and how great their game modes are? Way more interesting than a long shot, and while we look to be getting a quasi-superstar mode with QB1 coming in Madden, what about all of us who don't want to play as a quarterback? A massive oversight, but hey, maybe they'll give it back to us in Madden 2023. Number 6, fix in-game immersion. When a player of mine tears his ACL on the field, why is he sprinting off at full speed? Why do my players have zero body language on the sideline regardless of what's happening? If I have a wide receiver who tears his ACL running a route, show me a replay of him running the route, grabbing his knee and falling down. Actually, basically just like All-Pro 2K8. Can we get practice jerseys in practice mode? Have them wearing t-shirts and shorts? Why are my teams in their full Sunday getup when they're practicing their goal line fades at the training facility? Also, the commentary needs a redo. It was pretty solid for a few years, and I actually really like the team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, but why are they the only ones? Pay the extra money to get Jim Nantz and Tony Romo. Pay the extra money to get Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth. Hell, you don't even have to get them, but at least give us 1 or 2 different commentary teams so that we hear different voices from week to week. Because at this point, the very first thing I do after purchasing the game and installing it is turning off commentary. More commentators, more lines, means the game will feel and sound newer for longer. In fact, just plagiarize NBA 2K. Number 5, bring back Creative Suite. The same way I want to be able to create myself and have an NFL career with my own player, I want to be able to create my own team in my own city with my own stadium. Sometimes I want to create a fictitious team with an absurd stadium and roster full of me and my friends at all the positions and try to push my way to the Lombardi Trophy. Why take this out? Let us upload our own logos the same way that the NBA 2K and WWE games do. If I want to play as the LA Brazzers with Mia Khalifa at wide receiver, that's my own goddamn business. Also, how dope would it be to be part of an online league with 32 user-created teams from whatever city you want? I love the prospect of playing as an Orlando team in the division with teams from Tallahassee, Fort Myers, Ocala, or wherever. And why stop there? Let me create some fans. I want everybody in my stadium as the Vikings to wear foam Viking helmets. Let's do this. Give me some more presets to work with, and let's just run from there. In every other game I play, customization is one of the most important aspects. I want my player to feel like it's me, and football games should be no different. Number 4, fix the bugs. I don't know who you gotta call EA, if you gotta call Orkin or Terminix or Raid, but for God's sake, someone's gotta fumigate your fucking games before they hit store shelves. I have never seen more bugs, glitches, and oddities on the field than I did playing Madden 19 this past season. Magnet catches, warp catches, insta sheds, the ball bouncing 70 yards downfield when hit by a player, players flying up in the air, players floating, players not being able to be tackled, players running off the field despite broken legs and muscle tears, players sprinting out of bounds for absolutely no reason. All of the above aren't magic tricks. This is a $60 game from a AAA publisher, guys. I really hope that during the time I've been telling you about these issues, you've really kept an eye on your screen, because these are doozies. And these aren't even the worst of it. A lot of these bugs I think can be attributed to the Frostbite engine, which has been pretty temperamental since its inception into Madden. And don't worry, we'll get to that. But it really needs some fine tuning. The worst is when a glitch like this costs you game in an online franchise mode. And sidebar, while there's no bigger Shaquem Griffin fan than I am, why is he intercepting the ball with his nub hand? Number 3, expand online and offline franchise options. Please let me reset divisions and conferences. Let me make my own. I think it'd be pretty sweet to be able to make our own custom divisions and conferences. Remember in NCAA, you could take Ohio State and put them in the SEC. Or hell, you could take Oregon and put them in the ACC. It didn't matter, it's whatever you wanted. If we could do that in NCAA, why can't we do it in Madden? Especially in online franchises, I think this could help deal with the issue of unbalanced divisions in online leagues. This way, you can reorder a division to keep it more balanced, but everybody still gets to keep their own team. Past that, let's bring back more GM features. I want to charge $1 for beer and hot dogs, but $200 for parking. Let me piss off my fans like the Raiders organization. Let me have no fans like the Chargers organization. Give me the option. Let me hire offensive and defensive coordinators for my team. Adding more depth to the single most important mode should be your top priority, EA. And no, I'm not talking about that car crash that is Madden Ultimate Team. Number 2, entire animation overhaul. Probably the most unlikely thing on this list to become a reality, at least until the PS5 and the Xbox One 2 come out. The Frostbite engine needs to go. How many times am I going to get tackled by my own offensive line? How many times post-play am I going to see players running into each other at full speed with their spines curled back, or mounting each other on the ground like the aforementioned greatest wide receiver of our generation? The worst part of these animations is that they're predetermined. Sometimes when a pass is thrown and the wide receiver and defensive back are engaging in a fight for the ball, you'll get a handful of animations that you can't do a single thing about because it's that fucking animation. The ball might be 3 feet too far to the right, but because it's that animation, it will magically glide over into the hands of the wide receiver. Don't tweak it, don't modify it, burn this bitch down and start anew because the animations are the single worst part of every Madden game since Madden 13. Number 1, dynamic sidelines, player interactions, and attention to small details. Back in November of 2005, I remember getting this issue of Electronic Gaming Monthly in the mail. And I was really excited because one of the featured games in it was Madden NFL 2006. They had an interview with an associate director, and he had some interesting things to say about this game. Quote, "Just as in a real NFL game, the sideline will be littered with players, coaches, cameramen, and pom-pom waving cheerleaders. But no longer will these out-of-bound folks stand there like emotionless figurines. Players and coaches won't just react when you score," explains associate producer Ian Cummings. "Say you've just broken away from a pack on a kickoff return. You'll run by the sidelines and your coach and teammates will be jumping up and down excitedly." This issue was released in November of 2005, which means the interview probably took place a month or two before that. And we still have the same sideline interactions from players and coaches that we had way back then. It's been over a decade since that article was printed, and yet here we are, mannequin-looking players, vibrating slightly and swaying left to right like a gentle breeze is pushing them, and it drives me up the fucking wall. On an unrelated note, do you remember the trailer for Madden 06 and how awesome it looked? I think this probably was the very first time in my life that I ever went, man, EA's full of shit. Let's ignore the fact these players in the crowd look like they were rendered on an Atari Jaguar that Kareem Hunt kicked down a flight of stairs. But why is there no emotion? The crowd is always bobbing up and down no matter what. Every game is a sellout, and as anyone who has ever seen a Chargers game, Los Angeles or San Diego can tell you, that's a lie. Players stand in place and vibrate for the duration of the game regardless of the score. Lazy as fuck. Same goes for the players on the field. While some player models are great like Odell Beckham, for a lot of other players they look super wonky, almost like you're playing NFL Blitz or NFL Tour. Let's get the sideline to come back to life. When I run that punt return back down the sideline, show my team going ballistic and celebrating. When my defensive back gives up a 40-yard pass interference, show him arguing with the ref or throwing up his arms in frustration and confusion. If I throw an interception, show my quarterback throw his helmet. Show the defensive backs talking to each other and studying on the sideline. This, in my eyes, is the single biggest thing that has been neglected from the entire Madden series, even dating back to the last great one in Madden 08. The sidelines and the crowd are a noticeable part of the game, so why not include them? All in all, guys, I don't think EA is going to listen to me. I don't think they're going to listen to any of us. You know, I doubt we'll ever see all of these features in the game. We might see some of them, but we know the company that we're dealing with here. But optimistically, dumber things have happened in life. Who knows? Maybe we'll get a new director, a new creative lead for Madden in the series or so. I can only hope that Madden 2020 is a great game. And the thing is a lot of people have the misconception that us as football fans, we love just hounding on EA, talking shit about Madden, how bad it is, and blah, 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 and why don't we just not play it? Here's the thing. Me personally, football is what I care about the most in my life. There's nothing I care about more than watching the NFL, talking the NFL, discussing it, reading articles, so on and so forth. I want to be able to play a football game. I want to be able to play it with my friends and have fun. The problem is that with EA's monopoly on this franchise, the thing that I love most is being held hostage, similar to a lot of you. Everybody who's watching this video is a football fan, and you all have played ESPN 2K5 and how great that game was, or the older Maddens, Madden 06, Madden 08. You remember having great memories of what football games are supposed to be and how fun they can be. And it's been taken away from us. Sorry to go off on a tangent there, but I just feel like that's something that needed to be said. Now, the only thing I can really suggest is that you just don't buy Madden. And I know that's hard. I've had to leave my leagues because I just can't take the game anymore. How shitty designed the game is, how frustrating it is. I want to enjoy the limited free time that I have. And I'm not going to get that from Madden. I can only hope that if we don't buy Madden, it'll create a big enough void in EA's wallet that they'll come back and give us something we like. Well guys, that's the end of the video. Sorry that it took so long till I've made, a follow-up to my last video. I think it's been about 6 or 7 months, but I hope to be back and uploading regularly. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any suggestions for the next video I should make, whether it's on Madden or literally anything else, just let me know, and I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks.